Good evening. The old man here, January 16th, 2025. I almost said 2022. Huh. Well, most of my videos I've been talking about politics and the legacy system and how, fiat currency is basically meant to keep the public as slaves. They make it so tough for you to make a living that eventually, to have any kind of life at all, you wind up with debt. And debt is slavery, no doubt about that. And like I said in my last video, talking about being out of debt, saving in gold and silver has made a huge difference over the last year and a half. I look at it as investing or saving, however you want to look at it. This time around is totally different. You can see gold and silver is going up. Well, actually the dollar value is going down, but you can see that by measuring, you can use it, the measuring of the gold and silver going up in price, if you will, as the dollar going down, and that's how you can actually measure the dollar. So many people focus on the dollar's strength right now, the DXY at, I don't know, ridiculous levels. But the DXY is just comparing the fiat dollar to other fiat currencies. And right now it's the strongest fiat currency. And the only reason for that is because it's the reserve currency. It's the most polished turd in the bowl. And a lot of people from around the world are getting out of their currency because they see it falling faster than our currency. And so therefore they're coming into the dollar and investing, trading their currencies for the dollar, the fiat dollar, and then investing in things like the stock market, of which is just a derivative of the dollar. What I believe this year, through lots of research, 2025 is the end of the fiat legacy currency. I truly believe it is. All the writings on the wall. They're even starting to talk about it now, that of which they seem to they wanted to talk about it, but they always said it was, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road. And now these guys, the financial guys, are talking more like it's imminent this year. And I truly believe it is this year. You can see the other currencies across the world failing fast, and you got to believe we ain't too far behind. Typically, anything major happens in the world to some like China, we're typically about 6 weeks behind, thereabouts, maybe a little more this time, but not too far behind. But I think the fiat legacy currency is dead, and 2025 is it. Let that sumbitch rest in peace. With that being said, there's going to be lots and lots of turmoil. I know most people don't like change, and all of my life I've actually embraced change. I rather enjoy change. I guess that's kind of weird, but that's the way I am. I get bored after a while. I get to a level where I think I'm not going to make any more progress, or very little progress over years, and I wind up, changing it up and doing something different. Typically, something radically different than what I was doing, just to keep my mind going. I love the challenge. And until I opened my own business in 2008, been at it ever since, and I really enjoy that. So many of my friends have told me over the years, you know, why do you work so much? Why do you work so hard? You need to take a vacation. And now that I'm older, they're telling me, well, now you need to retire. What for? You know, when you hate what you're doing, you need a vacation. When you hate what you're doing, you need to retire. I don't hate what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing. Every day is a vacation. Now, are there days more stressful than others? Sure. But that's just, you know, a frame of mind. You can make of it whatever you want. But anyways, getting back to what I was talking about, is I believe the fiat currencies will die this year. All of them, all the fiat currencies. The U.S. dollar may be the last one, but I think when it falls, it's going to fall fast. And the reason for that is currencies, especially fiat currencies, is all about faith and psychology. It's obvious that you know, the even the central banks don't have faith in it anymore. The fiat currencies, that is, across the world, and they're stacking up on gold, and some say even silver. I don't know how true that is, but I guess it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you know, silver and gold will go up in price just because the dollars or the fiat currencies are falling so fast. And at some point, there's going to be a disconnect between the fiat, between the fiat dollar and physical gold and silver. They're both gold and silver priced at the COMEX right now. And again, I've said it many times, that's a dog wagging, or that's a tail wagging the dog. You know, the gold and silver is a big dog, and that COMEX is just a fucking tail. And yet we get all of our pricing from the COMEX. That is so ass backwards. But again, so's fiat currency ass backwards. All the troubles throughout the world, whether you want to talk about war, starvation, just you name it, all the problems come down to the currency. And when the currency's fake, all of the problems become worse and worse. There's no turning back. Many have said that, you know, politicians will never default, but they will inflate. Because if they default, obviously they're not going to get reelected. Well, this time is totally different. The patriots and the Americans have spoken. I know, you know, everybody thinks of Donald Trump, you know, Donald Trump. Well, the fact of the matter is he's just a man, that's it. A good man, smart man, and the biggest thing, he's a God-fearing man, and so are the patriots. And we have spoken. So embrace this change. What I think we're going to see, we're in a digital era, and we're going to get digital money. What that's going to look like exactly, I don't know. And, you know, so many people talk about the CBDC being evil. Well, yeah, set up like China, it is. But it doesn't have to be that way. The fact of the matter is the blockchain is visible to anybody. Basically, what that means is you can't lie. Okay? Everything, you know, anytime you change one little thing, the ramifications are, you know, you can't even foresee all the ramifications of what might happen due to that one minor change. Well, think about this. Everything's going to change. Everything in the financial system is going to change. Everything, the way things are done, are going to be changed. The whole world, especially, well, yeah, you might as well say the whole world is run on credit. And when credit stops, and that's what it's coming to, credit's going to stop. And at the end of the day, we're going to have a totally new system. And what that's going to look like exactly, I don't know. But I know one thing for sure, it's going to be digital. I've been watching for probably the last year and a half now. Well, several channels actually. But the guy I'd like to talk about tonight is the Economic Ninja, and it's Travis. Travis, is really practical, and I like what he does with his channel. And he's been talking about gold and silver, God, and, trying to help people realize that there's a better way. And one of the things that, he's been talking about XRP for a long time as far as the cryptocurrency is concerned on the Ledger blockchain. And tell you the truth, I didn't pay much attention to it. But here recently, I thought I should, sit down and do an inventory of the physical gold and silver I have, see where I'm at, and basically my other preps too. And the other preps are always going to be a living, breathing thing. I've got my 25-year storage and that really doesn't move, doesn't change. But my more perishables, that's a living, breathing thing. We're always consuming on the one end and adding on the other end. So I took stock in that, made sure that looked good, and it did, and took stock in what I had for gold and silver. The one thing I promised myself at the beginning, that I wasn't going to get sidetracked with cryptocurrencies or anything else as a lottery ticket. I was going to concentrate on gold and silver till I got to a point I felt comfortable. In the beginning, I had no idea how long that was going to take or what it would look like, but now I am quite comfortable with where I'm at in physical gold and silver. That's not to mean I won't stack more in the future, and you can bet your ass I will. But I'll tell you, it's not so much that I'm trying to convince anybody to buy XRP. I really, it doesn't matter. Everybody's got to do their own thing. I know most of us, especially people watching this channel, are older. I know it's mostly men. And the one thing older men really don't want is change. But honestly, how this is going to shake out, I have no idea. But I don't know what pensions are going to look like. I don't know what life insurance is going to look like. I don't know what, the monetary system is going to look like at the end of the day. But I think we owe it to ourselves to understand the cryptocurrencies and the blockchain. My personal, at the moment, what I'm kind of focused on is Ripple, and especially that's a blockchain, and they've developed what they call the XRP ledger. And the XRP, to best of my knowledge, what that does is that's the ability of big institutions to move large amount of money. XLM is more for personal, smaller transactions, and they've also got that running as well. And I think that's a pretty good investment for the future. Of course, I'll be talking more about it as time goes on, as I learn more about it. I think I know enough about it now that about 10 days ago, I'd say about 10 days ago now, I purchased a fairly decent amount of XRP. I don't like to talk dollar figures because, I don't want somebody else to think they can or can't do it. Dollar figures doesn't matter, not to me. Everybody's different. Everybody's on a different page in their life. Some may choose to invest a lot more. Some might choose to invest less. That's fine. Whatever. I think the one thing I like what Travis did here Actually, he got me to, with a over 50 challenge. He got, convinced me, had been thinking about doing it, but didn't really know what I was going to talk about or what direction to go in. But he put a challenge out for over 50 to start their own channel and stick with it. And that's what I've done for the most part. Yeah, I missed a few days, a week or two, almost 2 weeks there for a while. But really, I was gathering my thoughts, doing a lot of research. Wasn't really sure where I was going and didn't really want to talk about where I was going, because I would have just sounded like a babbling idiot, because I honestly didn't know where I was going. But now I've got a good handle on it. I'm back on track again. Really busy, so I can't always get a video out. I try to. But sometimes I leave to get to work early, get to work and find out there's all kinds of things I got to take care of, and don't have time for a video. And then at night, sometimes I've had rough days, and it's I'm mostly busy and kind of tired is what I mean by that when I say a rough day. So at the end of the night, kind of hard to collect my thoughts and put out what I would think would be a decent video. But tonight I am. Eric and I was kind of talking about this today. Oh, by the way, Eric's a friend of mine. He comes into work on his day off, and we get to talk politics. We get to talk about gold and silver. We're very much like-minded. He likes his gold and silver. He likes to talk about politics, and he also likes his firearms too. So that's what got him started coming in, and we've become what I think is good friends. And I told him to keep an eye out for this video tonight, and I'm sure Eric will be watching tonight. So just shouting out to Eric, hey, let me know what you think, buddy. But at any rate, I think we're in for a lot of change. Under the old administration, anything like that, yeah, we'd have wound up with CDBCs. We would have wound up with evil running the show like we basically have had since 33, when we were on just a partial fiat system that was backed by gold, and then in 71 we went to a full-on fiat system that was backed by nothing but faith in the dollar, and that has led us down a very ugly road. And the central banks have been trying their damnedest to manipulate it and keep it under control to this point. And I think they've had an eye on where they were going to end it. Got to remember that we had 4 years of Bush, of which was New World Order. We had 8 years of Bush, it was New World Order. We had 8 years of Biden, 8 years of Obama, or more commonly known as the Kenyan, and then 4 years of Biden. But that was supposed to be 8 years of Clinton, and Trump and the Patriots kind of threw a monkey wrench in their whole works and exposed how evil they are, and just how full of shit they are. And managed to expose it. And I think, obviously, I think people's eyes are wide open. And that's part of the reason, when you've been red-pilled and realized that you've been hooked up to the Matrix, it's kind of, once you've been awake, it's kind of hard to put you back to sleep. And part of that awakening is people looking around and going, hey, what the hell happened here? They want to know more about the monetary system and how it works. And probably what kind of brought me to the point where I'm at today on the journey I am as well. Realizing that evil has been running the show since at least 33, and it's just been getting worse. So one thing to know for sure, the Patriots and Trump are in charge. This is going to be a much better world at the end of the day. Some talk about having to go through 2 miles of shit before we come out the other end. And I don't know. Trump's man. Him and the team are really hitting the road running. I don't know. I don't think it has to be a shit show. With the right person as a cheerleader, and getting people through it. Getting the right mindset that we can do it. And Americans, when shit hits the fan, boy, I'll tell you, we can come together and make things happen. And I really think that's where it's going. I think a lot more. I think about it more in depth. And what about this and what about that? And everything I see is just positive. It's got the potential for positive with the right team on deck. That being the Patriots and Trump. And not because they're gods, but because they fear God. And Patriots, this country was made by brilliant men, but guided by God. God-fearing men. They created this country. They created the Constitution. And honestly, the Constitution is what makes us stand out from everything else. And if you look at the Constitution, it actually mirrors the Bible quite a bit. It goes beyond that. But the main gist of it is truth and law and order. And that's what we haven't had. We haven't had the truth for truth and money in the monetary system. And honestly, at the end of the day, that's where evil rises its head, is through money. And by God, have we seen that, especially the last 4 years. We see just how, and we've got a pretty good idea how deep it is, but I think you're really gonna see. That's the one thing in the next, maybe even 6 months, you're just gonna find out how evil they've been and who all was involved. And I think a lot of Congress is gonna wind up being, run out of Dodge, honestly. I think that some of them might even be brought up on treason charges. We'll see how that goes, and replacements with Patriots, actually. When I say Patriots, I don't necessarily mean Democrats or Republicans, but Patriots. We've had evil on both sides of the aisle. It's a uniparty. There is really no difference in many cases. There was, I should say, really no difference. Trump managed to get a lot of patriots elected 2 years ago through his efforts, and honestly, not Trump, but God. You got to give credit where credit's due. But I'm really excited about it. And like I said, I think it'd be a good idea. I know we're all older and we're stuck in our ways, and but denying the fact that it's going to be digital. We're in a digital world, and I think our monetary systems are going to be digital on the blockchain, and I think it can pay well to be aware of what's going on, and I think we can actually leave a legacy. That's my thoughts, anyways. I think we can. The country as a whole, and just not us old bastards, but the country as a whole can really leave a legacy for the next 100 years. And I think that legacy will be fine-tuned over the next 4 years. Once you root out so much of this evil, you'll be surprised what we can do and what kind of money we can make. And that's not being greedy, because I know the Patriots, God-fearing people, will help those in need. We don't need Social Security. We don't need welfare. The only reason for welfare and Social Security, of which are both honestly the same damn thing, is to enslave somebody, keep somebody thinking a certain way, that they've stolen that money from you, and then give it back to you in small dribbles. That doesn't make sense. You should be able to invest in yourself and have a good education system out there that's not run by globalists and giving you horseshit information. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be awesome. Believe if Monday I believe Trump gets inaugurated, and oh my God, I just think it's going to be so exciting and so cool. We'll see how it goes. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. Thank you. God bless. Please like and subscribe and share. And if you would leave a comment, really looking forward to reading the comments in the morning. So far, it's about ready to go to bed. Hey, good night. Thanks. Bye.